Oh yes, once again YouTube, the Mad Flip. So, just watched Dark Phoenix last night, and to think about it, I'm not gonna do a review on this movie because, for one, if you do want to see a review, it is on Nerds of the Square Table. Me, Atomic Train, and Jaren, we went and watched Dark Phoenix. We do have a movie review on that channel, which somehow I'm gonna have to figure out how to put links to this channel to check out Nerds of the Square Table. We did a review. My personal opinion, I'm just gonna say I enjoyed Dark Phoenix. I mean, the only thing I didn't like about Dark Phoenix, me personally, is I am not sure what is Jessica Chastain's part really supposed to be in this movie. I mean, I get it if you read the comics or whatever, you probably know. But for us that don't read the comic books, I was a little surprised that they didn't bother to tell us what was their whole point. So, besides that, overall, I enjoyed the movie. I mean, overall, I enjoyed the movie, but that's kind of not why I'm making this video. I'm making this video just to talk about some of the movies of 2019, which I'm a little surprised because so far, title-wise, there's supposed to be a lot of good movies in 2019, but so far, what I've seen so far, it's kind of like, I don't know, man, I feel like shaking my head because a lot of these movies, especially superhero movies, I'm like, I wasn't really too thrilled the way, I mean, don't get me wrong, Endgame had a great ending. It's just, overall, I wasn't that thrilled with it. I mean, it's supposed to be one of the highest expectation movies of this year, and it just, I don't know, it felt like to me didn't really deliver that. And then I had John Wick 3, which is, I had that highly anticipated in my top 10 anticipated movies of this year. And that one was somewhat, overall, great action in general. It's just, I don't know, wasn't there. And then you have some of these other movies, which, I remember watching and kind of like went poof and gone. Because me personally, I can't really trash a movie. I mean, sometimes I would like to trash a movie, but then I'm thinking in my head, nah, sometimes it's hard because I realize depending on what your expectations are, and then you just watch a movie, and sometimes you just want to watch the movie just to watch a movie. Sometimes when you try to review movies, it's tough because for me personally, to me a lot of movies are just one and dones. Really, I mean, to me like like a one night stand kind of deal where you just stuff and you're done and that's it. Some of these movies is the same thing. I don't really want. I mean, some of these movies I really don't want to watch again. Some of them were alright to watch again. Some of them like, do I really want to watch this movie again? So that's kind of what I felt like. It's weird. That's why when I think of the top 5 movies so far I've seen so far this year, and it's like, I scratch my head. I think I'm just gonna go over these top 5 what I think so far this year, so far 2019. So far, one I'm gonna start off with. I guess I'm gonna start off with Aladdin. Now, Will Smith for me personally stole the show in Aladdin. Now, Naomi Scott did a great job. She could sing and all that, but Aladdin himself, the guy who played the guy in Aladdin, I'm sorry, I don't think I can pronounce his name even if I tried. I thought he did a very poor job. So with that said, I have Aladdin 1 because I was kind of just shocked and surprised. Because me personally, I'm at the age of 40 years old, man. I don't know about watching Aladdin. Like, if I had to be watched it, I don't know if I would have watched Aladdin. But since I was doing a movie review, I ended up watching Aladdin, so I ended up liking Aladdin. So I'll go 1 Aladdin. 2, I'm gonna go with, man. Even though I swear this movie wasn't for me in general, but I guess for a superhero, I guess it's not bad in general. I guess my opinion is Shazam. Shazam in general was probably a better movie for most people, but for me, like I said, for an older audience watching Shazam, I'm like, I didn't think it was the greatest thing, but I guess I'm gonna go 2 with Shazam. 3, I'm gonna go with Fighting with My Family. Now that was a pretty interesting story about Paige, how Paige supposedly got into WWE, about her family, and what's her name? I'm trying to remember the actress's name who did it. I thought it was interesting. That would be 3 for me. Number 4, I'm gonna have to go with, let's see what 4 is. 4 is tough, man. Number 4. If I had to really think about movies I saw so far. 4, wait, what did I have it for? I thought about it on the bus on my way to work today. I'm trying to figure out what 4 was. 4, I think I'm just gonna go with Glass. Glass, to me, I enjoy Glass on a low budget. I was surprised with a low budget how well the movie was done. I mean, don't get me wrong. There were better movies like Endgame, Shazam. I don't know, maybe Captain Marvel, which came out this year. Really, Captain Marvel was probably better than Glass. Yeah, maybe even Captain Marvel was probably better than Glass, which is kind of disappointing. But overall, I did enjoy the movie, and since I enjoyed the movie, that's why I have it up there, because you gotta realize the difference between what's the best movies and what movies you actually like. Because there's a lot of movies that you could say was a better movie. I mean, we could argue there's a better movie. You can comment down there and say, hey, this was a better movie, all you want. But like I said, it is my list, so I'm gonna go Glass 4. And 5 is tough, man. Oh, Pet Cemetery. Actually, I should switch that around. I go Pet Cemetery 4, Glass 5. Pet Cemetery overall is alright. And then all these other movies, I mean, for me personally, when I think about more of these movies coming out this year, there's supposed to be better movies this year coming out, like Toy Story and all of that. For me personally, I don't even know if I'm going to even enjoy Toy Story. I get it in Rotten Tomatoes or what was one of the scores. Toy Stories, any of the Toy Story is supposed to be this great movie, but then I'm thinking about, depending if you like watching these things. I mean, I don't know if I would enjoy Toy Story, especially too after watching a lot of anime. I'm thinking of Japanese anime in general, and I'm thinking of, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy Toy Story because all these anime movies, these cartoon movies in America in general are just, the target audience is so low. I mean, so young that, I can't relate to Toy Story already at this point because I'm like 40, and that's like I said, it's hard to relate to Toy Story. It's hard to relate to some of these movies already, especially when it comes to American cartoons in general. So it's like kind of disappointing. That's why when I actually finish this year's top 20, or sorry, top 10, if I do that this year, it's gonna be tough because I think this year in general will be the first time I probably will not have any superhero movies in my top 10, which is kind of surprising because every year there's got to be these one or two superhero movies, most likely to most people. For me personally, this year, the way it's played out so far, and depending on the second half of this year, because the first half of this year so far, or heading up to the first half of the year, I'm a little surprised and underwhelmed, but we'll see moving forward. Like, comment, subscribe. The Matt Flip, we out of here, everybody. Aloha.